I think we discussed before we started. I am absolutely lost.
Get used to that phrase, guys. I'm absolutely lost. Get used to it.
Matinee Social, where you, our ticket holders, join us while we discuss The House of Dragons on HBO and the trailer for Lanterns, which is coming out on HBO as well. I am your host, Chris, and this is my co host, Cass. So without further ado, grab your seats and some popcorn. Let's go. Okay. House of Dragon.
Yes.
Most recent episode was released, due for another episode on Sunday. But first of all, let me just say, every time I think I know where this show might land, I am shown to be foolish because I never know where this thing is going. I have my thoughts on where I thought this was going to go. I know you tend to be more attuned to this type of show or what have you, but let me know what your thoughts are on this most recent season, obviously up through the most recent episode. Of the series.
So we're not 100% sure where this episode is going to drop, guys. So we're talking about episode 5. So it's like maybe when you're watching this, it's on episode 8 or the season's over. I don't know, but we're talking about episode 5.
We are
now. My takeaways, like I've enjoyed the first couple, like Game of Thrones on a whole, I have liked. So it was like A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I enjoyed that. The original series, I had, even though it ended kind of wonky, I'll say, I didn't hate it. It was like I wasn't one of those people that were calling for the heads of the guys that were in charge. I think that they didn't end it as well as they could have, but that's neither here nor there. Like that's in the past. So like, but on the whole, the Game of Thrones universe, I've enjoyed spending my time there. Season 3, from the first season with young Rhaenyra, to like and her sickly dad building models in the basement, to the current season of current Rhaenyra that looks like she's going through it, to say the least. I've enjoyed the show and the storytelling that's there. I think Matt Smith does a great job as Daemon. It's like all the actors are doing good work. I don't have any nitpicks with any of them. The one confusing thing sometimes to me is when you say Joffrey, I know they name everybody after somebody else, but to me, there is only one Joffrey. So, it's like, I've never read the books, but at the same time, it's like, there is only one Joffrey. There is only one Tywin. I'm gonna need you fakers, even though this is 200 years in the past. I'm gonna need the rest of y'all to stand down. It was like, because we already got the OGs, and I'm good with that. I will say with this season, the way that they're telling the story, rather, I think they're doing Rhaenyra's descent into obvious psychotic break much better than they handled in the stuff with Daenerys. Because like I feel like this is how Daenerys should have been handled, and they kind of just speed ran that to, oh, she's okay, and it's like, oh, you know what? This whole family loving thing she's got with Jon Snow, that's just the way everybody gets down here. That's just how it goes down. And it's like, and now she's crazy. It was like, I think that was unfortunate because they laid enough breadcrumbs for Daenerys to actually have the break if they would have spaced it out, and it would have made much more sense than they just all of a sudden it's like, and that's crazy. So Rhaenyra, if she goes that route, I think they're doing a much better job of it. I also think that the actor, and I didn't write it down, I apologize, playing Ormond Hightower is doing an excellent job, because that guy's definitely has some anger management issues. You just don't want to give this guy bad news at any time whatsoever. It was like, oh, Ormond, yeah, the wine that you wanted, you drank the last bottle of it. And it was like, he's not going to take that well. He's going to flip out. It was like, ran out of napkins. Ormond's going to flip out. Water not hot enough. Ormond's probably going to flip out. So
James Norton is the actor for that particular
role. He's doing a great job of being somebody that's constantly on it, like, oh, I'm nice and calm. Now I'm gonna flip out and destroy this table, and I'm gonna sit down again. It's like, okay, guys, where were we? It was like, what the hell is this? So I was like, I think he's doing well. Kristen Cole, who is basically like, oh, you kind of broke your knight's oath. And then she said, yeah, I think that we need to call this quits. But I broke my oath for you. Aren't we going to get married? Nah. It was fun for me. But you know what? It's like, I'll call you. You take care. So he did not take that well. And now he's marching all his troops. Is like, I'm going down and I'm going to die. And all of y'all going with me. I'm like, sir. It was like, sir, I'm sorry that your first time and you falling in love kind of just didn't go well. But why I got to suffer for this? So like, yeah, that. And it's like, Damon, I thought it was unfortunate that where the Gold Cloaks was like first two of them get massacred in the street. And then Damon tells the rest of them is like, hey guys, we're not going to stand for this. We're going to make this right. We're going to find the people that did this. And we're going to show them that we are the hot stuff in these streets. Yeah. That them didn't into a serial killer mosaic, and that did not work out for him. So it's like, I guess the next time Damon's like, I went around this meeting. No, man, because I remember what happened last time. He sent some people out the streets. Yeah. It didn't make out good for them. So, no. And then let's see what else you got. You got Aegon, with his half face. And what's his name? Guy with him, he go from mourning his dragon where you thought kind of is like, oh, does he learn a lesson? He's like, no, he's still a piece of crap. So it's like, he's still like, yeah, I'm getting my throne back. They can't do this to me. Who you think this is? It was like, this is not how it runs down in these streets. I'm getting my stuff back. And then it just feel like also nobody can run King's Landing because every time it's just like, well, I'm on the throne now and it's terrible. Well, now I'm on the throne, and it's also terrible. It was like, hey, I'm going to do on the throne, and I'm going to do right. No, because the first person knew you was coming and probably going to lose it, so they rolled out with all the gold, and now it's still terrible. So, like, at this point, why would you even want to run King's Landing? It was like, just to be, like, I'm on the throne, and, we need to pay the guards. Ain't no money. Give them some bread, I guess. And it was like, oh, we're petitioning you because, like, we did, and there's no crops and we can't eat if we're given to the palace. It was like, let me get back to you on that. Get back to
so I was honestly in this most recent episode, I was along the same thought pattern. Like, nothing has gone right. Every time she's tried to assert her will or her desire to follow through with what she sees as her birthright and what her father promised her, nothing has gone right. And like you said, everything has gone wrong. It's gone from them not having the funds. The rats are still running around the daggone castle. None of the people that she wants to hold accountable for what's happened is there, except for what used to be her best friend, which she doesn't want to visit her, anger upon. So she's not. So I don't. But go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. It was like, because I was gonna say with the rat thing, and it was like, we have so many rats, we do it. And that one dude, the other couple episodes ago, was like, let's get some cats. And they had to look at each other like, duh. Like, I guess this is the new, minister of rats or whatever, because he wasn't the one who came up with the idea. So then it's like, so now you're going to have, well, to get rid of the rats, we got the cats. Now to get rid of the cats, we got to get some dogs. Get rid of the dogs, we got to get some tigers. And then get rid of the tigers, we're going to get an elephant. I mean, really? Like, because
is that what we're doing?
After a while, because now it's like, it's like I normally like coming to, King's Landing and seeing the Queen, but it smells like a lot of cat in here. It was like, y'all want to open some parapets or something because this is fucking crazy. So it's like you got that, like you said, with her, former best friend that's now technically a prisoner of war right now. Mm-hmm. And then like, what do you do with that? It was like all of a sudden it's just like, all right, and now they thought she thought that she was escaping through the tunnels and then dropped the lantern. I'm sorry. You dropped the lantern and now you're in the dark.
I don't know how you do that. And why only one of you had a lantern?
It's like that's a whole nother. I don't know. Maybe one of the cats will get you out.
Go ahead.
And then
well, it was a cat that scared her.
Yeah, but that cat is like now they're like cat's like I can see in the dark. What y'all doing? It's like what y'all doing? So it was like cat was like turn out this light. I'm trying to sleep. So and then I don't know if it was this episode. It might have been the episode prior where Damon runs into his like I guess like his daughter with Sheep Stealer.
Yeah, it was the prior episode.
Yeah, it was like so. I did laugh at that because his dragon was daring him to go into the cave. He was looking at him. And it was like he looked back at that dragon. The dragon's like, "What are you doing? Going in there?" It was like, "You tough, go ahead." It was like going in there, find out. It's like I'm going in after you. You go ahead. So I was like, I thought that was pretty funny because it was just like, yeah, you want to be big man, you go on ahead in there. It was like you let me know when you found what you found. Right. So I'm sure you're going to see more of the adventures of Sheep Stealer and his wayward rider coming soon. So, but it's like I'm enjoying the episode. It's like the one thing with Game of Thrones is there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and you have to pay attention. The names can throw you just because the names are all so similar. Yes. And it's like, and if you don't know the characters, because it's like, oh, let me check my phone real quick. It's like you can miss a lot. So I do feel this is one of those shows that it's kind of got an old school bend to it where you have to pay attention to what's happening to actually be able to follow around. Like you can get the gist of some stuff, but there's enough small subtleties and things in the show that if you're not paying attention, either you're going to have to rewatch an episode or you're going to definitely have to do some kind of online reading to catch up. But then it's like, again, if you can't put a name with the face, you're kind of screwed. So, but I'm enjoying this episode. I'm enjoying the season. I think there's only 3 or 4 more episodes left before they get to the season finale. I can't remember if this is 8 episodes for season or 10. So, like, I can't remember, but it'll definitely be one of those ones when it's over. I'll be like, all right. It was like I can't wait to see season 4 because I'm sure it was pretty nuts. And like I said, I think I've only read one of the books for the original series, and then I stopped reading and then just decided to watch it. So it was like a show only type of thing. But it's good stuff. It was like I ain't got no problems with this.
Okay, I just need to know how Damon and the prince both ended up at the same witch's castle. Why?
Well, she's a witch, so she probably was like, "Woo-doo-doo, and just called him over. Like, let me call these blonde guys over here. And it's like, oh, he didn't give me what I want, but the other crazy looking one, he'll probably give me what I want because she just wants Aaron off for some reason. So
I know, but my thing is like for this is why this show never goes the way like I think it could potentially go, is because once something starts to roll in a certain direction, right? For instance, I thought after episode 4, maybe, that maybe all 3 of the queens would have gotten together and kind of like did their thing.
It's like, hey guys, let's have a meeting. Let's get together.
I thought they would have done something, but it always ends up.
Send the Raven. I want to call a Teams meeting. Like, just send the Raven out. It's like, let's get all together so we're all on the same page.
It always ends up with this series that, like, something happens which forces, because I feel like at one point they could have, in all honesty, I feel like at one point they could have. But something always happens, just as within this episode, you find out the daughter, I can't remember her name, that she is with child. Okay, so now they have to figure out what's in their own best interest, especially since she wouldn't, do what her mother was asking her to do and everything. So it just is a issue of circumstances that always keeps presenting themselves in such a way where it's not an easy answer. It's always something that's like detrimental,
right?
That like causes them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, like you said, it's like if a simple conversation is had, then maybe you avoid all of this extra nonsense. It was like, it was like, oh hey. It was like, yeah, you took the throne and put your son on it on a misunderstanding. My dad actually said he wanted me on the throne. Oh, that was you? I'm so sorry. Well, my dad, he's a little bit of a upward climber. I think the word going to be coined years ago was like yuppie or something. So it was like we want to just, we want to just get him out the pain. Like, yeah, we'll send your father on a trip. Say it's for a trade of putting his grandson on the throne, and then he won't know. Then I'll be on the throne. It'll be too late by the time he comes back, like my dad originally wanted, and then everybody will be cool, right? And it was like, oh, I'm sure you being a woman on the throne, nobody's gonna have a problem with that in Westeros. I'm sure it'll be all right. It was like, well, I got the blonde hair, so I'm sure it'll be good. And it was like, if my dad really wanted it, if you back me on it, it was like, oh yeah, that's true. Sorry about boffing your dad the other way. It's cool. You were doing what you thought you had to do. It was like, so where's straight? It's like, yeah. I was like, conversation's never gonna go good. So I just think that's just how Game of Thrones is built on like ridiculous nonsense. Where it's like, oh hey, if you talk to that one person, we probably could have avoided all of this, and these countless people would not be dead.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, well, you raised an interesting point there. To the dungeons with him. He's a witch. Get him out.
To the dungeons.
Like, can't have that kind of thinking over here, buddy. Send him to the wall. Send him to the wall.
I don't. Well, but Damon did tell her on this most recent episode. Did you think it was going to be that easy? Not only not only the fact are you a woman, but you've ousted everyone else. Of course, they're not going to welcome you with open arms. It's not going to be just blue skies, sunshine, and rainbows, all the time. And
for me, Damon is too much of a voice of reason, because kind of the last episode, I kind of expected him to run her through. It was like, I don't know why. I didn't know why I was expecting it. I don't know why I would kind of look like I wouldn't have been surprised if it would have happened. I'll say that. But it was just like the way he's talking, and then I feel like, he kind of wanted to throw in himself, but like he's backing her now. But at the same time, if she starts to go a little nanny boaters, it's like she goes a little nutter butter. It's like, is he gonna say, "Oh, I did this for the realm," but was he planning on doing that the whole time? So it's like, I don't know. It's like he's got his Goku problem currently because he's dealing with Ted Bundy or wherever he got over there in West right now in King's Landing. But if he would have knifed her or he betrayed her some kind of way, I wouldn't have been surprised about it. So it's like, that is to say, I feel bad for her. I guess she would be kind of the one that I would trust right now. Everybody else has got their own agendas, which is fine. And I like that everybody has got their own stuff. But it's like, if I was Rhaenyra, I'm sitting at a chair putting some wheels on it. So I always got something to my back.
Well, so there's two things, because now not her maid, but her, I guess, lady in waiting or whatever she is.
Her second, like her hand.
Is now starting to, because of things that were, told to her, is starting to not be as endearing to her as she was, or not as honest with her as she was. But
at her ear, and I was like, but I thought after everything we shared, it's like, I don't know if I can trust you either. It's like, oh, that's how it is. Fine. So it's like, it's one of them things where she's alone, and I think they're doing a good job of showing that isolation, even though she's surrounded by people that's supposed to be helping her and having her back. I think that she is portraying that well, and they're doing a good story of telling that. Because like if it was me, this room is a little cramped because my dragon's in here to watch my back. So this dragon's always in the room now. And just like, I'm gonna need y'all to knock some walls down because it's gonna always be walking with me. And I was like, I'm just gonna be like, oh, what'd you say? It was like, tell it to the dragon real quick. It was like, you got nothing else to say? Oh, okay.
But just to go back to Damon real quick, I think he enjoys. I think initially he did want the throne. That was his initial whole thing. But I think now he enjoys the position that he does have, because he doesn't have to worry about the things that are or are not acceptable. If he were in that role, he could just do whatever he wants to do.
Mm.
But still be close enough where he has that influence. So I think now he is in the role that he enjoys, and which frankly best suits him for the conniving that he might, have to do but can't get away with, should he, if he were in that particular role. So I don't know. I think it's good. It's, to me, definitely better than last season. I was a little upset with last season. So what, you disagree?
No, it's fine. It was like,
Oh.
like I didn't have any problems with last season. It's like I don't like I've seen, some of the online discourse. Like I guess like you're enjoying this season, but didn't enjoy last season as much. And I've seen some discourse where folks are not enjoying this season as much as they enjoyed last
Really?
season. So stuff,
Really?
stuff ebbs and flows. It was like people's taste for pacing and other stuff are different, and it's like, it's like I want to see more of this character, and it's like these dragons aren't burning enough sheep. I don't want to, but like it could be anything. So like people's tastes are different. I'm enjoying the show as it is right now. I don't have any nits to pick with it, so like, I'm just currently curious and interested, invested in how the season ends.
I didn't hate last season. I think they lingered an episode or two too long in the castle with Damon. That's all.
Mhm.
Like, I understand like the reason why they had to play that out. I get it. I think it could have potentially have been wrapped up a little sooner. But then I guess then they wouldn't have been able to start this season where they did, because whatever. So I guess it makes sense. All right. Well, so hopefully, we'll watch the, next episode and we'll like it just as much, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe the three gals will get together. Who knows? You never know. Their interests may realign, whatever. Moving on to Lanterns. Also, excuse me, on HBO, coming out August 16th. It is based on DC Comics Green Lantern, and however it focuses on Hal Jordan and John Stewart. It features Aaron Pierre, Kyle Chandler, Nathan Fillion, and Kelly McDonald. We're talking today about the trailer that came out, excuse me, for the new series. So what did you think of the trailer?
It was good. It was like initially when the show was pitched, they pitched it as a Green Lantern story in a True Detective style, and the first trailer that they dropped definitely conveyed that. It was like you got these two guys that kind of don't really seem to get along, but you're not 100% sure why. And they're looking into some kind of mystery and stuff. And then it's got like, it's True Detective with a Green Lantern sheen on it. I was totally like that description of it. And then that first trailer, I was in from that. Then the second trailer, they dropped a little more traditional sci-fi stuff. We're seeing some more of the ring constructs and some space, but still didn't tell you exactly what the story was. So like still kind of didn't really know. And then this third trailer gave you a hint of what the possible big bad is, which are the Manhunters. And
I didn't understand that.
with that. In the Green Lantern comics, the Manhunters are like if I'm remembering right, the Manhunters are emotionless robots that kind of don't care for the Green Lanterns because they feel like whether they feel it's too much power but for one group to have, or that they're not doing the job that they should have. I can't remember. It's like my Green Lantern lore is somewhat weak on some of their extra villains, which I'm happy about because I can go into the show somewhat clean.
Kind of blind.
Yeah, it's like I know the lanterns that they showed. Like I know Hal Jordan was the original Earth Green Lantern. John Stewart was a Green Lantern that came in later that replaced him. Nathan Fillion is coming back as the best Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, who is, the jerk Green Lantern, but the one that I like the most. So he's coming back. So you have the three of them there. They showed Sinestro, who is the Green Lantern's number one enemy for the most part with his yellow power ring, and he's locked up. So whether he gets out of jail or he's just his whole cameo is just him being in jail, I'm totally fine with that. So it's like they've done enough and they've changed enough of the mythos for a lot of this stuff anyway that makes me interested in it. So it's like this trailer, I think it was about a 3-minute trailer that they dropped yesterday. So it's like, I'm all in. Game of Thrones will probably wrap up, and then this will pick up in probably that, that Sunday slot, I'm guessing, to go for, that new show. And it was like, I'm hoping they can execute everything that they've showed off, but it's like, I haven't had any problems with anything that they've showed. So yeah, I was like, I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, I think I liked, similar to you, I liked the trailer. They dropped the original trailer for this months ago, by the way, which I saw when it originally came out, and I'm like, all right, well, where are we with this? But this trailer does give it a little bit more body to, what to expect. I think we discussed before we started, I am absolutely lost. Like, I know Green Lantern, like, I understand that whole.
Get used to that phrase, guys. I'm absolutely lost. Get used to it. Get used to that phrase, guys.
But I don't know what's happening. Like, there were some spots in this most recent trailer that made both characters endearing. I liked, from the little bit that you already, that you're able to see. I liked, the last portion of the trailer where I guess he admits that, he's not his backup, but that he's his replacement. So something obviously is going on there. But other than that, like the two moons, and the body snatchers or whatever you were just, I have no idea what's happening. So I'm anxious to see, stop it. I'm anxious to see what happens and how this plays out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, the Green Lanterns are essentially space cops, and, they protect the Earth from alien threats, is their primary job, essentially. Well, it's like the Green Lanterns are space cops. You have Earthbound ones who protect the Earth. There are other ones throughout the universe that protect different sectors, and that's what they did.
All I remember is the cartoon.
That's there. That's good job. So there's like, you have that. There are different, there are other rings. There's yellow. There's indigo. There's violet. There's black.
That I do know. Yes.
There's a bunch of different colors. All of the colors are a different emotion, essentially. But it's like you can nitpick with that. It was like green is will. So is will really an emotion? It was like black is death. Is death an emotion? I don't think so. But it was courage. Like, I know. It was like, no. Like, no. So we'll see how deep it goes. Whether if this is something that ends up with one season, if it's well received, and then gets a second season. It was like, do you dive into any of the other colors of the spectrum, or do you keep it a grounded series where it's like, okay, Hal Jordan has hung up his ring and given it to John Stewart, or does Hal Jordan say, screw that, y'all can just give him his own ring and we can just do this, right? And then because you already got Hal, you've got Guy Gardner, he's got his ring, so it's not like one. So like, it's just a case of Hal getting fired for doing too much Hal Jordan stuff, and then it's like, yeah, John Stewart, you're going to take his place because this guy needs to sit down, get a shave,
right?
So it could just be that, but we'll see. It was like, I don't know, but it's like I'm eager to find out on how they put all this out there.
Okay, all right. Real quick, I just want to talk about Netflix's series The Ultimatum, Marry or Move On. They just released season 4. Now, I will say, I tend not to watch a lot of reality TV series, things of that nature. For whatever reason, I don't know. This one has got me because I've watched all 4 seasons and was waiting for this most recent season, season 4, to come out. And just because I know you, Cass, don't know the premise of the show very quickly, I'll go over it. So it is different couples who come obviously to the show. One individual in each couple wants to be married. However, the other person keeps saying no or giving some other reason why they won't marry their mate.
Mhm.
And what they do is they come and they essentially break up with their person that they came with, and then they kind of speed date the other individuals who also came to this location, and they spend a month, I think it is 3 weeks, married, living with this other individual, and then go back to their original person that they came with and try to put tools that they may have learned, where, things that they may have, because the whole thing is to hold a mirror up to them and get a different perspective in, what you may be lacking and providing for your mate. I am the last person to be giving out relationship advice, right? However, I feel like I understand that the premise is good. The premise,
Mhm.
like, if you're there seriously, if you're there to do the serious work, if you're there, it's a good premise. The logic behind it makes sense, because like I said, you're supposed to be putting a mirror up to yourself. But if you're just there to kind of be like, oh, well, we'll do better than them, or I think we are doing better than them. Or for instance, this most recent casting had a young man by the name of Jebin. He was with his mate Alex for 6 years. When I tell you, then I think he was like 21 or 22, and she kept saying he was funny, like he was just like the funny guy or whatever. But I don't know where she didn't see it. It was masking, I guess, in her eyes, a lot of immaturity. He was so immature, so immature. And with some of the other couples, like obviously, they had their issues that some of them, worked through. So I'm not going to spoil it since it just came out. Actually, I kind of will. So after the speed dating part, 2 of the 6 couples that came left. Jebin and Alex left because he did some nonsense, and this part I won't spoil, but he did do something that was very uncalled for as far as I'm concerned. Another couple that left was Jessica and Idris. I hope I'm saying his name right. They left because he decided, I feel like, kind of, he couldn't accept maybe Jessica dealing with another person, so he proposed, she accepted. The other 4 mixed up, and they went on their trial marriages and went back to their original mates or whatever. Of that, all 4 left engaged. They went back and everybody was, yeah. On the portion where they follow up with all 6 groups a year later, only 2 were still engaged. So we're not even at 50% people. So I'm saying, so I'm just, I'm not going to put out, I mean, I know that was a big spoiler, but there's a lot that happened this season. I think there's a lot that people can, to some degree, maybe even learn from the show. I guess if you do some introspecting yourself, but
look within, guys. Look within. Look within.
Well, they had one couple. I have to. They have, and this is it, and then we'll call it. But they had one couple who were very they were very intelligent. Haley and Blake, they were very intelligent as far as how they want to be loved, or the different things that should go into a relationship, I suppose, because at one point they were talking about love language. My love language, your love language. We're not talking the same language. We need to get on the same page, things of that nature, which is fine. I think for that couple, and I actually wanted them to work out. I'm not gonna lie. I was rooting for them. I think they got in their own way though. I'm not even going to get into the stuff that was thrown back and forth at each other during the reunion, but in the show itself, while they were still going through it, I think they got in their own way because they're so like with the love languages thing, and then she's like, "Well, I want you to show me all 5 love languages every day." Who can do that? That's exhausting. Who can put out that kind of effort? I will show you that I love you. I will do certain things to show, but to be able to show, I feel like, again, I'm the last person, but to be able to show all 5 love languages on a daily basis is exhausting. And then she kept saying, like, when they would sit down somewhere, she would just look at him and he would look at her, and she was like, "Well, say something." Well, you can say something too. Like, you're capable of starting a conversation, I'm fairly sure. But I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know why I like this show so much, but I am rooting for the people, but they just get in their own way, I feel like, and some people are just there for the wrong reason. So for the 2 that did make it, kudos. Happy for you. So whatever. All right. That's it. That's all. I know you don't like it, but
I'm not saying that. It's just like, it's just some of that conversation is like, my wife or girlfriend, if I'm looking at her and then she looks at me and then all of a sudden say something, and it's like, oh, I'm gassy. It was like, what do you, it was like, you just told me to say something. You ain't say what to say. So it's like, what's the problem? It's like, I was looking at you initially because, it was like, all the light, the way it is hitting you. I wish I had my camera available to take a picture because you look so pretty, or some other freaking nonsense. But at the same time, like, you attacking me, say something. And I was like, that is like, am I for you? Say something.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, say something. It's like, yeah, these eggs are runny. I mean, but what? It's like with some of that stuff, like sometimes it's just like, people need to. It was like, why did you get married, or why did you start dating this person?
Right.
It was like, it's like, you're gonna have differences. You're gonna have, your differences of opinion, and some of that stuff can be good. It was like, it was like, hey, it was like, well, I like wheat bread. It was like, well, I like friggin' potato bread. And it was like, oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy. But that's a simple difference that is like, all right, well, why do you like that? Or what's this? And like, you have that. But if you want to turn everything into a confrontation, or you want to dictate, it's like, there's 12 love languages, and you need to show me all 12 every day, every hour. If you're not giving me those 12, you don't really care for me.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Well, why
didn't you sort this out during the dating process? It was like, did you see this? Was this hidden during the dating process? You got married, and then all of a sudden it's like, so my wife, what can I do for you today? Or so my husband, what can I do for you today? It was like, well, the first thing you can do is you late on those 4 of the 12 love languages. So I need you to get on that right now. It was like, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's like, were these things that you saw early in the relationship and you just ignored? Or were these things that popped up later? As like, I guess that would be my question.
I feel like, from what I was able to obtain from the series, they are very emotionally in tune with themselves, right? Okay. Because you have people who are not capable of understanding their own emotional aspects, where they are, like how they're actually feeling, and they lash out at other people. I feel like they seemed to be emotionally intelligent. I just feel like one or both didn't display that all of the time. Because even at one point when she said to him, say something, and because he felt like he was always walking on eggshells, he just went to something very simple, which, you know, he said, what types of things do you like, or something along those lines. And she got livid with him. She's like, why are you asking such a dumb question? Like, that's something that you would ask on a first date. He doesn't know what to say. And maybe he is trying to get to know you again. Give the man a chance. But she just, you know.
Yeah, that's one of those things where she's like, so, you know, what do you like? That's something you want to ask on the first date? Blah, blah. That's what you do. It's like, that's what you do. Or it's like when you pull one of those, she starts going off, and it's like there's nobody else in the room. You're like, this is so dumb.
I don't know.
It's like, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but, so that just seems wild to me. But all right.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's it for us, guys, for this particular episode. So if you like what you saw, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. And that's all I have. So cheers, guys. What about you, Cass?
The blackest night falls from the skies. The darkness grows as all light dies. We crave your hearts and your demise. By my black hand, the dead shall rise. That's the Black Lantern Oath, ladies and gentlemen. Much better than the Green Lantern Oath. There are several of these. And yeah, that's one of them. And that was pretty great.
All right. Good night, guys. Cheers.